to Evil Popcorn. This is Mr. Popcorn, and tonight I am keeping it fangy. And to my left...
Hello, I am Scream Queen, and I am serving 20% blood.
This is the Baron, and we're in the Baron's dungeon tonight. And I have, for all of our lovely listeners, Poppy is with us as well.
Poppy!
Poppy is here.
Who made that for us, Baron?
I got it from a Facebook ad. It's remarkably expensive for that one. I'm trying to find a more cheap option so we can offer them as merch.
Okay, yeah, fantastic. Yes, but Poppy is here tonight, so thank you for bringing Poppy along there. Okay, so we're continuing our Australian horror series. No, we have not run out yet. Plenty more to go. And we are doing the Spierig brothers feature film from 2009 called Daybreakers. And it's shot right here in our hometown, well, where we live now anyway, of Brisbane.
It is, yes.
Yeah, so Baron, you know
Yes.
this film.
I do, yes.
Yeah, what's your history of it? And at this point, with no serious spoilers or anything, how do you feel?
I've been in a lot of the locations that this is filmed in. I know a number of actors that worked on it. I did used to get off the train at Robina train station, which features quite heavily in the film. And just this week, I walked through several of the sets.
Yes,
Okay,
me also.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I originally saw it at the cinema. I think I got a free ticket through a media thing, like we do with like Christian Fletcher and all that sort of
Shout
thing.
out.
Shout out, yeah. I love a good vampire film.
Yeah, yeah.
I love a good
Tell me that.
Australian film.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good Brisbane film. I enjoy it. I think it's a good film. It's not a classic by any means, but I like it.
Yeah, okay, nice summary. Scream Queen, how about you?
I was very new to this film in comparison to The Baron. I loved it.
Good.
I actually, as soon as it started, I was like, okay, I'm locked in. This is perfect. I love vampire movies,
Yeah.
and I love sort of stylized, insane movies that take themselves very seriously.
Sure.
So I was obsessed. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. I will ask you both to think as we are recording to come up with your favourite vampire film by the end of the episode.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ooh.
because I need to think of that one
Ooh.
myself.
Okay.
Myself and Daybreakers, yeah, this is the second time that I have watched it. It's the first feature film that I watched moving from Christchurch, New Zealand to Brisbane. Yeah, so I thought I'll watch a Brisbane film. And yeah, no, I was impressed. I do like it. Like the Baron said, it's not a classic. I do like the fact that a blockbuster vampire film was shot here in Brisbane and the Gold Coast,
Yeah.
just to be specific.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's not a classic. It's not breaking any big ground for me, but it's highly enjoyable. And
Sure.
I'm very proud of it and proud of the fact that Brisbane could, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And like big cast.
Oh, yeah.
Like heavy hitter.
Yeah, should we have a look at
Cast.
actually who was in the cast there, Scream Queen?
Yeah, so there's Ethan Hawke
Yep.
is the lead. Willem Dafoe.
Yep. He's been in a lot of vampire stuff.
And Sam Neill, who I love.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love Sam Neill. I watch anything that Sam Neill is in. I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah.
And it has Claudia Carvin, who I'm
Yeah.
also obsessed with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you know her from?
She's in Puby Blues.
Okay.
She's
The
in
TV series.
She's in Aquamarine,
Yep.
the movie
Okay.
with Jojo the pop star, and she's in so much. She's in The Long Weekend remake.
She was in the Long Weekend remake.
Little
Yes.
throwback.
Okay.
She's in the new series Bump on. She's the
Okay.
gem of Australia
Yeah.
to me.
Mungo McKay's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So there's another link back to Undead.
Yeah.
And Emma, both Mungo and Emma.
That's
Where were
really-
they in the film?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
the humans in the van at the start that
Yeah, okay.
so Mungo and
Okay.
Emma were two of the humans in the
Okay.
van.
Shadow guys.
He
okay.
wasn't they didn't look their normal selves. He didn't
I
look
didn't spot
grimy
them.
and
I didn't
grungy
spot
and
them.
beardy.
No.
Play
Okay.
School. The guy from Play School is in it
Yes.
as the pro.
Yeah. What's
Oh,
okay.
yeah, he
Pro-human.
Oh, who do we have? Is that Michael Dorman or Vince Colissimo?
It's not Vince Colissimo. Colosimo?
Let me just press the link button so we'll come up with a little picture. No, that's that
No,
guy.
he
the
was
white
he
guy.
wasn't a very major character.
Yeah, but I know who you mean.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
absolutely know who because that film school actually edited an ad with him as an him in it as for an exercise.
Oh,
yeah, so
that's cool.
yeah, I've looked at his face a bit. But those, and Isabel Lucas, those are the rest of the name and the cast that's quoted on Wikipedia. Barry.
You mean Jay Lagaya?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
Jay Lagaya
that's
from
him.
Canberra, yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
He's
That's
in
him.
play school.
Yeah, he was in play
Yeah,
school.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that's who you meant.
I was
Yeah,
I was
thank you.
5.
And Star Wars, he was in Star Wars.
Yes, he was. Yeah. All right, so that's the cast. It's written by the Spierig brothers. They do everything together.
Yeah.
If you don't know them, we've done Undead. Yes, it's them.
That was our first big episode, wasn't it?
That was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nearly a year ago.
That was episode 2.
Talk to me.
Oh, Talk to Me we did
We
first,
did,
you're right.
we did
yes.
a lot of
yeah.
brothers in a row.
Yeah, we did. It's interesting.
I don't know
how
why I
it's
said
turned
it like
out,
that.
hasn't it? Yes, and they have done Jigsaw for you Saw fans out there, and also Winchester. So they basically moved to Hollywood now.
Yeah.
Yes, they basically moved to Hollywood. Was this their break into Hollywood?
Yeah.
That's what got them there. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I mean, people in Hollywood saw Undead and went, these people know what to do with a very small budget, let's give
Yeah.
them some more money.
Yeah, for a monster fantasy genre piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, well done. The cinematography is by Ben Knott. We're edited by Matt Villa, music by Christopher Gordon, and it's put out
Music
by
was great.
I like the music.
and it's put out by good old Lionsgate
Yep.
in cahoots with Screen Australia.
Yep.
And other things like Picture in Paradise, Film Finance Corporation Australia, Pacific Film and Television Commissions, First Films, yada yada yada, distributed by Lionsgate, who basically put Saw on the map, got Saw on the map,
Yeah.
got it out there, yeah. And this is back in September 11, 2009, TIFF, that is the Toronto International Film Festival, and then January the 8th, 2010 here, the United States, February the 4th, 2010 Australia. So we got it last.
Yeah.
Typical.
Classic.
I think I was seeing if it made money overseas first.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course,
That makes sense.
Running time of 98 minutes, nice,
Yep.
good time for a genre piece.
Yep.
It is an Australian-American production. It is spoken in English. There was a budget of 20 million, and at the box office it made 51.4. I don't know what it's
nice,
done,
okay.
video on demand or even DVDs back then. I
Yeah,
don't know if
well-
I'm still making it on that.
I've still got a physical copy of it.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay, there you go. Anything else? No, apart from the plot, of course.
Yeah.
Is there any other information anyone else had?
My biggest problem with the film
Sure,
is
okay. we can do that.
given when it's set, I do not believe that the Brisbane City Council could have gotten their shit together enough to get all those underground tunnels made in that time frame.
Yeah, that's a huge gripe.
They can't even fix what's on top, let alone what's
let
underneath.
alone
But did they? Was it effective infrastructure? That's my
Well,
question.
the vampires didn't seem to be getting killed.
That's true.
Admittedly, and for those people that aren't in Brisbane, those tunnels did all seem to just happen to be the entry tunnel to Central Station in the city. So yeah. Throughout this, though, I will be mentioning where we are in the city.
Yeah, do so,
Go,
please.
please.
That's
Because
great.
I got to about 10 minutes in and I went, I should note down where we are so you can see how long it takes to get from this spot to this spot that they walk in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, someone to ask you if you could do a map, but I don't want to
Oh,
ask you to do
I
that sort
should
of
have
work.
done a
That would-
map.
Yeah, because that'd be great for the Facebook and Instagram. Yeah.
Let's do. I'll see what I can do.
Okay,
with
so we
the
can do
map.
if you can
Yeah,
squeeze it in, that'd be fantastic.
yeah.
But you
I've
heard it here first.
got a couple of questions though. We've got a couple of my favourite actors, one in particular.
Let me get Sam Neill.
Willem
Sam Neill's up there. No, I highly respect him. I don't know if he's in my favourites.
Okay.
There's I'm talking about Ethan Hawke and Willem Dafoe.
Yes.
Willem Dafoe's
Right,
in my
okay,
favourite
sure.
Yeah, I was
favourites
gonna
of all
say,
time,
yeah.
of course, yeah. But Ethan Hawke I like a lot because Ethan
I do
Hawke is
too.
also a friend to horror.
Yep.
Yeah, because he came out with The Purge and Blumhouse. He helped
Oh, yeah.
put them on the
Sinister.
map, Sinister and all that sort of thing, yeah?
Black
Yeah.
Phone.
He put his money and his name to helping put horror on the map in the
Yeah.
2010s, yeah?
Yeah.
So, what do we think of him? How do we feel about Ethan Hawke?
I love Ethan.
Yeah, I always
He's
have.
very pretty.
He is. I was
Sure.
like, this is just a movie with my 3 people that are the whole lead cast. I'm just in love with all
Yeah,
of
yeah.
them. So
Yeah.
they really struck gold.
Yeah. Like as a straight man, I'm not challenged by his masculinity, but I find it enticing.
You reckon he's a masculine dude?
Well, there's elements
Like
of a
pretty
mannish
boy.
man. Like he's very pretty,
Yeah.
but he's got just that little edge of rough that goes, no, I'm also a man.
Yeah, he's got that like brooding
Yeah.
vampire stare
Yeah.
down.
Oh, he makes a great vampire.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, Robert Pattinson
Yeah.
can like old news. I was like, this is the and his name is Edward.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about that for a second. He's playing a vampire named
Cool.
Edward
I'm Team
with
Edward.
a brooding stare, and I am Team Edward. If I ever say I'm Team Edward, I'm talking about this movie.
Talking about Daybreakers, okay,
specifically.
sure, yeah.
Like the stare is perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he was also helped in this film remarkably by the lighting and the cinematography.
Absolutely, and the colorization,
Colorization
the
is amazing.
sets and that sort of thing. Absolutely, yeah. And it's very kind of like futuristic like a post-apocalypse, but very dead tech postmodern
Yep.
style. Yeah, because
Yeah.
vampires have taken over and it's a new
Neo-noir.
world now. Of course, yeah, the neo-noir elements.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Almost sort of neuromancer. Almost.
Yeah, and it also reminds me of Gattaca a little
Yeah.
bit. Remember Gattaca,
Yeah.
the movie?
Yep.
That's an Ethan Hawke movie, yeah?
Oh, it really is, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Jerome,
Because
Jerome,
blood,
metronome.
exchange blood with DNA.
Yep.
Yeah, class, status, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Willem Dafoe? I mean, yes, he's a friend to horror. He's done
Oh.
horrors, but he's also done some of the best films of all time. Extreme cinema, like Antichrist.
Yeah.
So I could put him as a friend of horror.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And
My-
he does like just weird freak
Oh,
films.
Yeah, absolutely. Poor Things, you know what I mean? That certainly had hammer horror like macabre monster elements and such.
And, like, you look at not Nosferatu, Shadow of the Vampire.
course, yeah,
He's
yeah,
going to be
yeah.
in the new Nosferatu.
yes.
So my
yes.
favourite role of
Absolutely.
his is Odd Thomas. He plays the town sheriff. So do you know Odd Thomas?
No.
Okay. So Odd Thomas, there's a character in Odd Thomas who can see ghosts and that sort of thing. He's psychic and he's got a number of powers. Unfortunately, Anton Yelchin, who was playing Odd Thomas, passed away. Got run over by his own car in his own driveway when he was washing it. Like, shout out to Anton Yelchin. He was going to be the new Star Trek's what's his name? The Russian guy, Chekhov. Wow, I should hand him my nerd card. So he was Chekhov in the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. It's another reason why he hasn't come back. And there was supposed to be 3 or 4 Odd Thomas films when he passed away, but our friend plays the sheriff. And it's one of those roles where it's not like the sheriff doesn't believe Odd Thomas. He knows Odd Thomas has these weird powers, so he listens to him. So it's just like this really nice, sort of fun uncle sheriff. And it's so nice to see him as a normal person.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna skip to this, but I found
Please.
this review on Letterboxd of this film,
Okay.
and it really
Spoilers. Go watch
Oh,
it and
yeah.
come back.
Yes.
Yes.
Go on, watch.
I'll
the
just
movie.
Google it. Yeah, in
Yeah.
Australia, it's
this is-
available on Stan or Prime. It's available. Please screen.
I think this sums up Willem Dafoe well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It says Willem Dafoe was cast off type as human.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just really love
Yeah.
like he's playing a human, and then
Yeah.
they're like, it doesn't. Seem
Not only a
like it.
human, but a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
Oh, but
Han
he's-
Solo hero type.
Yeah.
His name's Elvis. you
Yeah,
know, like,
Elvis. He's holding the gun up.
So
But I mean, he's in the
good.
Spider-Man films, and they have him as the Green Goblin, and the first thing they do is take the helmet off because his face is so much scarier than the helmet was.
He does have a very distinct.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love him. Like I
Yeah.
think he's so great. I just saw Kinds of Kindness.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just think that even the smallest role,
Nice.
like he like just shines.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's not even out of central casting. Like, he is weird casting.
Weird casting.
Oh, weird casting, absolutely.
No. Avant-garde
Yeah.
theatre
And he-
to Hollywood.
Like
Yeah.
even
Yeah, pretty
in
much.
even in this film, his lines are crazy.
Yeah.
Like he just brings crazy to everything he does, and I just always.
And he can make anything work, any piece of
Exactly.
writing work. Have you ever seen Wild at Heart, Scream
Oh.
Queen?
No.
That's probably his most demented
Yeah.
role.
Okay,
like,
great.
trust me. That's quite something.
I like it heaps.
Yeah, we love Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's
And Sam Neill, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
He's
of
perfect.
course.
He plays a good villain.
He's a great villain.
Oh,
He is
yeah.
So,
great.
like it's like he's just this like nice little man who has a farm with like pigs and ducks and stuff, but then
Yeah.
you'll see him just play someone absolutely like devoid of humanity. It's so funny.
Because this movie has Matrix-like elements, and
Oh,
he was
absolutely.
definitely Agent Smith-ish.
Matrix,
yes.
Dark City.
Dark City is another one.
Yeah.
How do you think this? I'll get to the plot soon, but how do you think this stood up in this was in the midst of Twilight?
Twilight and the Matrix.
Yeah. Did it make itself distinct from those franchises?
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Literally the first.
There's a lot of references, but there's a lot of things it's pulling on. I'll throw True
Yeah.
Blood in there as well
Yeah.
because of the blood and the way it's
And
distributed
even
to the
like,
minor
you
masses.
could like Van Helsing, Underworld, like even
Yeah,
those
absolutely.
movies
Yeah.
are sort of seeing elements of, but I don't know if it's just easy to make those comparisons just because it is a vampire film and it's very like stylized and it's set in a city, like, you know,
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, no, I still
like it.
think, it's very reminiscent of, these franchises and these films, and it definitely pulls influence, but it's still its own piece.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's
derivative.
very unique. I think a lot of the reviews I read were saying like, oh, it's old, like it's doing the same thing that we've seen 1,000 times before, and I'm like, when have we seen this 1,000 times before?
No, 1,000 times before.
Yeah, like obviously it's not a new, it's not absolutely earth-shattering, groundbreaking.
I mean, they
but
tread
it's good.
they tread new paths,
Yeah.
or they tread old paths in a new way.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I agree.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just do the profile flip. What do you want, boss?
Well, you're getting
That's
text.
right. Yep, no, it won't come up. It doesn't come up. No, it's on silent.
It's all good. I'm just curious.
Yeah, all good. Okay, lids on.
It's all good.
Okay.
A little bottle of fake blood just fell over.
Okay, are
There's
we
blood
good? All right.
everywhere.
We're good.
Okay, and we are going into the plot, children
Okay.
of the popcorn. All right. Now, this is pure Wikipedia, so anything that they've missed out that you remember that comes to mind, just go for it. Yeah?
Sure.
All right. A plague caused by an infected bat transformed most of the world's population into vampires. Yeah, so that's the setup for the world.
Which doesn't explain why they can't be seen in mirrors, but sure, go on.
The human
flawless.
population plummets, leaving vampires with a severe shortage of blood. So those are the stakes going in, yes?
Yeah.
Vampire for the world. Vampires deprived of blood regress into monstrous bat-like subsiders.
Yep.
What do we think of the subsiders?
I liked them.
Yeah, so did
The
I, actually.
design-
The design was
The design was
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like the like spiky ear, the wings.
When they're with like Ethan's in the car and he's checking the ear to see if it's gone all pointy because he
I think
hasn't had
that's a
human
really
blood for a
good
while.
way.
That was a nice little touch. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that before.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't seen
Yeah,
that
and
before.
just like
And
it's
if they-
so classic vampire.
Yeah.
Like just the look.
Oh, and if they drink vampire blood, they regress quicker.
Yeah, they like mutate
Yeah,
faster,
yeah.
and like it's very like, guess Nosferatu,
Yeah, yeah.
like inspired. But I love like how they just have like their wings and like the long fingers.
Yeah.
And they really become like animalistic.
It's very bat-like
so
as well.
Good.
Yeah, it's great.
And positioning them in the world as basically homeless people,
That.
I thought was quite
Yeah,
something.
no Euro trash fashion victims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vampire. It was vampire capitalism.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
what that play is.
evil.
Yeah. So there's a real social commentary of
So was
class.
capitalism
Yes.
was capitalism the villain?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, this is like.
Conservative capitalism.
I pause. We start the movie. We're 3 minutes in. Hardly. I pause it and I go, okay. So they've destroyed. They've usurped humanity.
Yep.
Yes.
But they still haven't been able to figure out public housing.
Yeah.
No.
I was like,
Keeping
you
it
can't,
consistent,
You
you
can't
know.
usurp capitalist
Food
society
supply.
and then build another capitalist
Yeah.
society. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah, and
Vampires should know
They're
better.
not even
Yeah.
because they're not actually breeding the humans at this stage.
No.
No.
they're just-
So they've got no
they're
idea
just
how to
farming
keep,
They're just
how to
killing them.
farm these animals
Yeah.
that they're
It's
eating,
crazy, but I
drinking.
love that because it's like that is sort
Yeah.
of the absurdity
Yeah.
of like the world that we live in. We're like,
Yes.
okay, we
Of
can do it
capitalism
better,
ourselves.
but
We
they do
don't know
it the
what we're doing.
same,
Yeah.
and we have the same
Yeah, cycle,
problems popping
cycle,
up.
cycle.
Which I was like,
Yeah.
that's immediately
Yeah.
introduced.
Yeah.
That's what really makes this film.
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah.
Humans are captured and harvested in laboratory farms with
Yeah.
scientists. While scientists research a synthetic substitute. So they are harvested then.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
in
they
the
have
farms,
their
that's right.
little matrix.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay. As sunlight is deadly to vampires, underground passages and UV filtered cars are built for safe travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked the technology with the cameras on the roof of the car and the blackout windows.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So fun. I feel like the world building, and it's fine if you disagree with me, but I feel like the world building in this film was so rich. Like immediately, like you're at the train station, there's a little kiosk for blood, and or it's like a coffee shop, but they're like, we still have, that was my little reference at the start, that we still have 20% blood in the coffee, okay, we're not shirking on the blood.
Yeah.
I like the camera-based mirror. Like he wants to look at himself in the mirror, and it's a video camera with a screen.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah. It was either Ethan Hawke or Willem Dafoe. I think it was Willem Dafoe when he read the screenplay in that moment at the kiosk with the coffee and the 20% blood is why he wanted to do the film.
That
Yeah?
makes
okay,
sense.
cool.
That's great. That
Pretty
feels
sure
very
it was
Willem
Willem.
Dafoe.
Yeah, pretty sure it was Willem. Yeah.
There's also that scene at the beginning where it's like a little girl and she's a vampire and they're like zooming in, and it's very Twilight, like blue filter.
Yeah.
It's got like that very strong blue filter on it.
Well, it is just before dawn.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's rising dawn.
It's
I
breaking
know
dawn.
that blue filter that was around a lot in the 2010 to 2013.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, can I see my vein blue? That was in movies
And
a
she's
lot
got
then,
her little diary. She's like, I'll never get older, never grow up, can't change. And she like
Talk to
commits
Kirsten Dunst.
suicide
Suicide
by
by
son.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And there's this little girl, and
that
you're like,
was, that was
whoa,
something.
like
Yeah.
that, like humans don't want to turn into vampires. I thought that was also interesting.
Yeah. Well, some humans don't want to.
Some,
do it
yeah.
anyways.
Crazy.
Because we learned that Sam Neill's character, who's sort of the head of this big corporation, he was very sick.
Yeah.
And so he turned so he could live longer with his daughter, but his daughter didn't want to turn.
Didn't want to turn.
Yeah.
No, that becomes a plot point later on.
It does, yes. Yes, he has an interesting arc, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, thinking about that. Okay, so the humans who are travelling around by the day, hiding in open spaces, they're scared. They're not having a good time.
No.
No, it's bleak. Very bleak.
And they're still, why don't they run off to the country, to the bush? Yes, have you ever tried to live in the country, in the bush? Yeah.
There's no humans out there.
There's no humans out there, and what's the word? Gregarious, flock together like sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, humans also do that.
Yeah, we do.
By habit, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why there's still a few humans around, okay. Edward Dalton, Ethan Hawke, is the head hematologist for Bromley Manx. So is that Manx or Marx? Let me just... Yeah, Marx, a bit blind, sorry. A pharmaceutical company and the largest supplier of human blood. Yeah, so Bromley Marx is Sam Neill. Edward and colleague Christopher Caruso are developing a blood substitute. Yes, I remember Christopher Caruso there. Driving home from a failed experiment, Dalton accidentally runs another vehicle off the road.
Yes, the combi.
Discovering the occupants are humans, Dalton hides them from the police. Yes, so early on we see that Ethan Hawke is a good guy. He's a good guy. We trust him basically at this stage.
We know because one, he's trying to find a blood substitute through an evil corporation, but we'll get to that later. But we know that he's not drinking human blood because we can see that he's mutating as well. So we know that he looks all sad when he sees the humans all hung up. Deprived of blood. He looks really sad about it. So that's how we know.
They hang on his face for a sec.
Yeah, he's got that brooding. That's what I said. He's got that really intense stare.
And those little moments of building his character, developing his character, the start there really help justify why he just quickly helps them.
It's really good.
He doesn't even say anything, just says it with his eyes.
This is a small moment, but I just really loved it. But there's a part where you see like these like vampire teenagers, and they're all like really cool and edgy, and like they're literally like smoking. I think one of them's smoking a cigarette. And he just looks so sad about it. These like teen vampires just smoking, and he's like, "Damn, what has the world come to? These teen vampires are smoking." Yeah.
Before they part ways, their leader Audrey learns Edward's name and occupation from his ID badge. I liked Audrey.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
I love like the female lead in like these vampire movies is always really good.
Yeah.
It's just badass.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At home, Edward is surprised by his estranged brother Frankie.
His hardcore military estranged brother.
Yeah, this is where like the military, anti-military messaging starts to come in.
Frankie's gift of a bottle of pure human blood reignites a long-standing argument. Edward refuses to drink human blood. He is steadfast in his resolve.
Yeah.
While Frankie,
even though it's his birthday.
Yes, it is his birthday.
No, it's not going to treat himself. While Frankie enjoys his vampire status.
Yeah.
Drink the blood, your high status.
Yeah.
You see? Yes, it's like signing your name on the dotted line. How do you want to word it? Yeah.
Ethan Hawke has this amazing line here where he goes, "Life's a bitch, and then you don't die."
You don't die. Yeah. That should have been the tagline of it.
Absolutely. A subsider invades the house, forcing the brothers to kill it.
Yes, I put here enemy of my enemy, question mark.
Yeah.
Exactly. The next, sorry?
Oh, I was just saying, they're having this argument before he comes in. Oh, well, the subsider comes because he pours the blood down the
Yeah, and
sink.
they can smell it.
And it can smell the blood, and
his
they have
brother
this
leaves
fight.
leaves the door open.
And because Ethan Hawke says, "What happens when there's no humans left?" And the brother says, "We'll find more." And if that is not like, and if that's not like the capitalist thing,
Yeah.
what happens when we run out of
We've dug
this
up the whole Earth
resource?
to space.
Yeah.
There's got to be more in space.
Exactly.
humans.
So I was like, that line so perfectly captures what they're trying to say with this movie.
Let's
I love
hope
that.
let's hope there's life on Mars.
Yeah, exactly. It was so good.
The next morning, Audrey visits Edward's home.
I did point
So
out.
please,
So I did
yes.
point out here, nice change of colour palette.
Yeah. There was actually getting away from the city and the corporation, the corporate colours, yes, to the vibrant colours of the rebellion, which is very Star Wars as well, actually.
Yeah.
They do the same thing, don't
Yeah.
they? The next morning, Audrey visits Edward's home, giving him instructions for a meeting. Edward meets Audrey and Lionel, Elvis, Cormac, Willem Dafoe, a human who was once a vampire. Ooh, what's happening? Before Cormac can explain his reversion, though, a military team arrives with Frankie, who follows Edward and intends to capture Cormac and Audrey. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Audrey knocks Frankie unconscious, and the three escape.
Yep.
Okay, we're on the run.
Car chase scene.
The car chase. It was
I
good.
like the bullet holes for with the sunlight.
sun.
Yeah.
I really liked
that
it.
was
Like,
good.
I'm not a
That's
huge...
right, Ethan was up in the back.
Yeah, I'm not a huge action gal, but I loved it.
And like
I thought it was
he's
so good.
steering the car with like one eye through the
Yeah.
bullet hole.
And like
that was
Claudia
good, actually.
Carvin's trying to like block the
Yeah,
holes,
yeah,
and he's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, stop swerving.
So Claudia is Audrey.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Sorry,
okay.
Audrey.
No, please. All
Yeah.
good, all good.
I have
But
to
she
full,
was
I have
good,
to
she
full
was
name
good.
her every time.
Yeah, Claudia Carvin.
It's what she deserves.
Cormac reveals that he was actually cured of vampirism when a car crash
Dun, dun, dun.
ejected him from his sunproof vehicle and he flew like a phoenix, but he went back to the ashes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we
go
think
straight.
of that? Well, how do we think of that moment, that visual?
I love it.
I thought it was great,
I was huffing because
Okay.
it's the weirdest cure for vampirism I think I've ever seen.
Oh, the actual cure is another discussion.
It's-
The how it was done visually.
Yeah, visually it's amazing.
I like insane things. Like I'm like you found the most insane solution, and I really respect that because
Yeah.
it's a like it.
You're right.
I it's so camp.
And
Yeah.
This movie is so camp.
It is camp.
And I
It
love
is.
it.
The probability of them finding that cure is like billions to one. Well, like, as Sir Terry Pratchett would say, the 1,000,000 to 1 chances come out 9 times out of 10.
He's like, I got in this accident and I went spiraling through the
I was
window.
on fire and then I was in water and now I'm fine.
Water? Yeah, it was so good. It was like just enough time for me to. So good. I need to preface all of my love for this film. I need to preface with the fact that I think Van Helsing is a perfect movie.
That's
I know
right.
it's
You,
amazing.
yes, you do like the camp,
So,
don't you?
like,
yeah, camp doesn't work.
If you're like, why do
Yeah.
why do you love this so much? That is why.
Did you see the animated feature they did for Van Helsing? Oh, okay. I believe it's available on YouTube. They did like
Okay.
a companion piece, and like they got their actors in to do like the voices and stuff. It's very
Okay, great.
Okay,
That's
well,
perfect.
and we will see Willem later on in the year playing Van Helsing.
good. Yeah,
which is
in
cool. Which is
Nosferatu.
Yeah.
It is being called Nosferatu, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, just straight up. Yeah, and I'm just thinking about this cure. I mean, it is fine. It's horror. You know what I mean? I mean, think about the
Yeah.
ending of Get Out.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Think about
Okay.
the actual science of
It
it.
doesn't have to reflect actual science, but it was such a concatenation of events that it just should never have happened.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah. It's
Okay.
insane, but then they're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're like, he
They're
is
on
a
board.
human.
Yeah.
You're like, he used to be a
He has
vampire and is
the
a human.
scar from
he
the
has a
bite.
scar. He has all the burns
Yeah.
from, like, being set
Yeah,
on fire.
yeah. The continuity of it was good
Yeah.
as well. So, how does it work there, children? I hear you ask. Elvis burst into flames in the sunlight, but landed in a river. Now,
No, a dam. It was a dam.
A dam, okay,
It was a dam,
yeah. Having been
Let's get it
exposed
right.
to the sun for a precise
It's important
length
for science.
for a precise length of time to turn him into a human again.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we get that?
So the fire shocked his system, and then something in the water helped.
It's like, is it...
Precise amount of time, you
Yeah,
know, just
yeah,
like the
precise amount of
clocks
time,
and
yeah.
Baghead.
Yeah.
And talk to me.
It's sort of like a reverse death, I guess. Like, if a vampire dies, it's like a double negative until they become
Yeah.
human again.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
that's how I see it. If you, like...
Batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's flawless
Flawless,
logic.
flawless logic.
But I'm perfect. I was, I look when it came up, I went, oh, we're going that way. Fine.
Sure.
Carry on.
Why not?
Edward agrees to help Cormac find a way to recreate the cure and prevent human genocide. They have their mission. They have their team objective.
Lucky he's a
yes.
scientist.
Yeah, I was like,
Indeed.
well, that's why
It
they
is, actually.
that's why they
You
followed
crashed
him.
into
'Cause
us.
lucky she saw his ID card that said
Yeah.
hematologist on it, not
They
just
actually just-
staff member.
Yeah, that's true. They actually just have the best luck in the world.
They do,
This
yeah.
team,
It
doesn't
is-
it?
yeah.
Well, for the first half of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edward meets Senator Wes Turner at a vineyard,
Yes.
where a vampire is secretly helping the human colony develop a cure. Okay,
Yes.
here's the rebellion.
Yeah.
Vampire soldiers capture an approaching human convoy and
Yep.
track the vineyard's location, forcing Turner and the humans to flee.
Yeah, that part was. Why would they get out of their cars? So all these humans are traveling.
Yeah.
And the vampires sort of ambush them.
Yeah.
Right, and all of the humans get out of their cars.
Yeah.
I was like, why would they do that? Because they all die.
Yeah.
Like pretty much all of
Yeah.
them, and they take. Oh, but they're transporting Sam Neill's daughter.
Yes.
That's
As
right.
well.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. The
That's the
daughter who
important
will
part.
not drink.
Who doesn't want to be turned.
Is
Not
she's
her.
part of the rebellion?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
She's
yeah,
like
yeah.
very pro-human. Yes, yes, you are.
Audrey, Cormac, and Edward stay behind, and together they recreate the method by which Cormac reverted to human form,
Sorry.
curing Edward of vampirism.
Oh.
They later find Turner and all the humans are dead.
Yeah.
So this is where they just start basically blasting themselves with
Yeah.
sunlight. Yeah.
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 And another talking about convenient plot things. They just happen that their base is a
Winery
It's
with
an old
huge vats.
winery with
Yeah.
huge vats and huge barrels everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm
And
like,
tools.
oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
We can shut the oxygen off
Yeah.
and
Guardian
let
angel
oxygen.
business.
Yeah.
I love it.
I refer
love
to this
it.
as A-Team time.
Yeah.
So it's like that scene in the middle of the A-Team episode where they've been captured and stuck in a shed with welding equipment and a forklift.
Yeah.
perfect.
80s ingenuity.
But like, why give them more problems? Like, isn't
Yeah.
the whole like lack of humans thing a bigger problem?
Yeah, alright, they do have big stakes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess, to be
They
given
have
big luck.
they have huge stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge stakes.
Alison Bromley, one of the captured humans, is revealed to be the daughter of Charles Bromley, CEO
spoilers, sorry.
of Bromley Marks, who refuses to become a vampire like her father. Charles has Frankie forcibly turn his daughter Alison into a vampire, but
That's
she
Ethan Hawke's brother.
Yeah.
but she refuses to drink human blood. Devolving into a subsider, Alison and others are executed by being burnt to death.
Oh, that
by
was
sun.
crazy.
Yeah.
That was a lot. That
Yeah.
Is
was.
that the blood riot?
Let's break that
Bromley
down.
Marks is a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
We discover,
Oh,
yes,
I mean, he is like.
he has his tragedy in his past.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
he's not nice in this one.
He had his
No.
reasons for becoming a vampire, but
He's a
that's where it
capitalist
ends.
monster.
That's where it
He's
ends. My
just-
sympathy for him.
Well, because he has all those lines where he's like, he's, you know, egging Ethan Hawke on. I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself,
Yes.
but like he says, he's like, oh, you know, we come up with this blood substitute, but like, you know what it's missing? Like the blood flavor, the fake blood, it's missing fear. You can't taste the fear.
Yeah.
And he's just
Someone's always
awful.
got to be a douchebag, don't
Yeah. And especially the head of a corporation.
Yeah.
The CEO of a corporation. The thing with his daughter is actually horrific.
they? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
it
her
really
death.
is.
Her the bite, like
Yeah.
the unwilling bite is very full on.
Yeah.
And then the fact that she's like drinking her own blood
Yeah,
to speed up the
subside.
mutation
Mm-hmm.
to get back at her dad.
Yeah.
I mean, because her life is ruined. Like
Yeah.
she doesn't want to be a vampire. She might as well
No.
be dead. And then they take all of the subsiders.
Yeah.
Rather than dealing with the problem, they are locking up anyone that turns.
Yeah.
It's very like
Putting them all together.
poor people, poor vampires can't access
Well, they're putting them in
blood.
camps, aren't they?
It's crazy.
It's what happens with every Olympics to the poor.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, true.
If
Very
That's what
true.
they're doing.
Yes, no, it's very topical.
Yeah.
It ruins
We're in
cities.
Brisbane, 2032.
2032, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, there is a lot of things about this movie that I'm like, and again, it's not new.
Yeah.
We know. A lot of movies have these themes because the world is the way the world is. But I feel like there was a lot of like really powerful imagery in this film. Like,
Yeah.
actually, like, it is campy and it's ridiculous.
But there's hidden messages. There's
Yeah.
hidden messages, plural.
Did it hit home because it's here more than usual? More than it normally would?
I don't know. I think just like.
Or just the plot? And the
Yeah,
way it's
just
set
the
up
state
and
of the
stuff?
world.
Yeah,
Just
okay. Just
where
curious,
we are
just
at in the world
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
And the death, the defiant death, the turning
Yeah.
around and such and looking, yes, with the sun and the,
Yeah, and like
that moment
the
was very
chain, the
strong.
shackles on fire,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of being dragged
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
It was very like a scene you would see in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
The part where they like pull all the
Yeah.
subsiders
Oh,
out
that's
and they
right.
light them.
Yeah.
The sun
Yeah, they-
gets them.
And they've got like specific tools to deal with them too that you see throughout.
Like the little like electric shock
Yeah,
collars
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
It's really we're making it sound very, very dark. Like it is dark,
dark.
but it's not. It's mostly ridiculous.
Yeah.
There are some dark moments.
And then there's the rat
Yeah.
break in the night that I can't back that up.
That moment was really just to show what the hero team, the A team, is up against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
What the
exactly.
villains will actually do to maintain
And
what
it's like
they
his
have
own- and-
keep their power.
Yeah.
And also you're sort of seeing this, not radicalization, but you're seeing Frankie sort of grapple with what he's done, because
Yeah.
Frankie's just been like, I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
being a
yeah,
vampire. There's also the implication that Frankie turned Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
So Frankie's the reason that he's a vampire. He never wanted to be one, but he
Yeah,
turned
yeah.
him against his will.
I would say that's
I was
100%.
Yeah.
agree with that.
Um,
Totally. Nicely
Yeah.
done.
And so you're seeing Frankie like be like, oh, we are the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like-
are these the baddies?
Yeah, I'll be the bad guys. Like he's seeing this man kill his own daughter,
Yeah.
and she's turned into a monster because
Yeah.
he like couldn't deal with the fact that she didn't want to be just like him.
Yeah.
And Frankie's like, oh,
What, a corporate CEO douchebag?
yeah.
Not just a
Yeah.
vampire.
And Bromley, if I'm not mistaken, he wasn't particularly moved. He took the news, that's
No.
another off the agenda list, off the action list for today.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
one
Check.
Christmas card.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like she rebels against him, and he's like, okay, to the sun,
Yeah.
to the sun. With
He gave
you.
her a chance, as he would give any employee of his, and then,
Yeah.
oh well, that's that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he hasn't even
Yeah.
given his little villain speech yet. He's just like, oh, that's
Yeah, he
just.
hasn't
It's just
modeled.
Oh, you
business.
said
It's
it.
just
It's exactly
business.
just he's ticking
Yeah.
something off to do.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
business.
Um,
Okay, where are we up to? Edward Cormac and Audrey break into Christopher's home
Yep.
and
Oh,
ask
yes.
him
And
to
that's the
help
other
spread the
hematologist.
cure.
Yes. Who's still a vampire at this point.
yes.
Having finally discovered a viable blood substitute and feeling overshadowed by Edward, Christopher is uninterested in a cure and calls in soldiers who
Yep.
capture Audrey while Cormac and Edward escape. Yes, did the dirty.
So I put here, this is one ugly fucking house.
Oh yeah, that's a line that Willem Dafoe has.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, people, this house is well out in the suburbs. It took them a very long time to get there. Just as a note here, this house has a sub-level that leads directly to Central Station, right in the centre of Brisbane.
Oh, nice.
So they go down a set of stairs and they're right next to the War Memorial.
Okay.
Central Station.
Yeah.
Okay. Funny. They're found by Frankie, who agrees to help, but his instincts cause him to buy Cormac. However, drinking his blood turns Frankie human,
Yep.
revealing that cured vampire blood is a cure in itself.
It's what do they call it? Panacea?
Yes.
I think that's the right word.
A cure for all is panacea.
Yeah,
Yes,
cure
you're
for all.
correct. Yes, anathema is the opposite to that. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Trying to save Audrey, Edward surrenders himself to Charles. He reveals his plan to start supplying the blood substitute to the general population while hunting humans and selling their blood for exorbitant prices.
Ah, so like Etsy.
Black market. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vampire Etsy.
He's like, there's still a market for real human blood.
Yeah.
He has not learnt his lesson
No.
whatsoever.
Yes, and here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, their world, they're doing the same thing with disposable vapes. Same situation.
True. True.
Alright, Edward taunts Charles into biting him,
Yep.
turning Charles human.
Yep.
Edward leaves Charles to be killed at the hands of a blood-starved vampire
Subsider.
troops.
Yep. Yeah, the subsider.
There's the subsiders. I'm just going
Yeah.
to Peter, but subsiders there, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we feel about this?
Which,
Justified, worthy, Edward leaves Charles to be killed?
oh, I absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a prick.
Yeah.
He said, he has this line where he's like, welcome back to humanity.
Yes, it was
now you
good,
get to
wasn't it?
die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. I love it. And I just the visuals
Yeah.
of like, again, it's like why I love The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Okay.
the like just like hordes of bodies just like
Yeah.
feeding on people.
Yeah.
It's like crazy and you're like, whoa, and there's the gore in this movie is great.
Yeah.
What was your
Very
second
good.
favourite monster when we did top 5 monsters? Because number 1 is vampires, yes? Was it zombies?
Remember.
I think
It
was-
should have
I think it
been.
was
Yeah, by the
zombies.
sound
I
by
feel like
watching
I
how
had
you're talking
zombies in
tonight.
my-
Yeah.
I
Okay.
love zombies.
Yeah, cool.
I love zombies.
Um,
And it was definitely giving zombie to me, just like the subsiders.
Yeah.
yeah.
But vampires, obviously.
Bestial vampires.
Yeah.
And welcome back to humanity is the whole thing. It's called pain,
Yeah.
which has been done in a few movies, but it's great. It works.
The thing that I like that they did in this is when they were cured, they didn't do that. I suppose none of them have been unalive long enough to do it. But when in a lot of movies where vampires get cured, and it's like, oh well, now you're gonna have to catch up with 180 years of aging.
Oh
and all
yeah,
that sort
I'm
of
glad
thing.
they didn't age up.
Yeah.
I do love just the subtle, just like we
Oh,
can
I'm
breathe
human
again.
yeah.
I have my
I
heart
have a
is
heartbeat.
beating.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can love again. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the moment that's coming up here. If we haven't already passed it, I'll say it anyway. The walking into the sun is always cool.
Yeah.
First
Oh,
time in a very, very
yes,
long time.
they do have that-
They do
Oh,
have
he
that.
did
Or is
that
that
in
where
the
Ethan
yes.
Hawke is like looks beautiful
Yeah, he
and
did
he's
that.
got like his like billowing white shirt
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, oh the sun, it
Jesus
feels so
emerging
good.
from the cave.
And then like Audrey comes up beside him and they hold hands
Yeah.
and he's like, oh you're so warm.
Oh, that's right. That cements their little flirtation with
Yeah.
the interest there,
Well,
which was
they-
fine because
it
it wasn't too much and it was
Well, they
obvious.
have been
that
together
they
for
knew
about
it.
5.5 hours, so that
Yeah,
obviously
of
the
course.
Exactly.
Yes.
Shorter
yes.
than Romeo and
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Although we don't know how long the montage lasted with them trying to cure him.
Yeah.
That could have been
It could have
days.
been months.
Yeah.
That's true actually. Yeah.
No, I think it
I think it was one day,
I think it was
basically.
minutes.
Yeah.
Not as egregious as Emily Blunt falling in love with Tom Cruise in one day in Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah, even
True.
though it's like it was suggested that she just should because he's Tom Cruise.
But he was
That's
awesome.
another discussion. Sorry.
But he was awesome.
He's so
I only watched that film because someone said, but Tom Cruise dies in it like 55 times. Well, I mean,
I actually like that film for a jockish sci-fi action. I actually think it's quite good.
Having seen it now, I really
Yeah,
like it.
There's actually lots of fun.
It's a fun
Yeah.
movie.
Okay. I like Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt's awesome.
And she's amazing. She's an
She's
art
the
killer
best
in
in
it.
it. She's
She-
by
I know
far
she
the
got
best
like
in it.
buff for that movie.
Oh, yeah.
She's great.
Not to
in
go on a
it.
tangent, but
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay.
I also have there's a part where Audrey feeds Ethan Hawke her blood.
Yeah, why do they always cut their hand like that?
Oh, I know, but I was like, that's kind of hot.
Like it's if anyone that's ever been cut on the palm, like that thing where they stick a knife in the hand and they do, like I know why they do it
It's
for
such a
film
classic,
for film
yeah.
reasons. and like that, but that would take years to heal. Like they did it in every second episode of Supernatural.
Yeah.
Like towards the end, Castile, the angel, was healing them.
Well.
Castile was healing them, but it's like no, they should have had like their palm reader should have gone. Wow, you've got the Encyclopedia Britannica on here. It always frustrates me that they do that there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get you.
I did love that moment of him just being like, no, I can't drink it, and she's just like, just drink it.
Yeah.
And then Willem Dafoe's like, yeah, you should drink it.
You should drink it because otherwise you'll turn subsider and kill us all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
the subsiders come back. If they drink human blood, do they come back to themselves?
Surely, right?
It works one way, it should work the other.
Yeah, there's the time factor though.
We
so
don't
would
see
that
it
come
though.
into
Maybe
play because
they're
the
too
amount of
far
time
gone.
they've been, yeah.
It's like Warm Bodies. Sorry, we're
Oh,
just
I
referencing
love
all of
Warm
these zombies.
We watch
I
Vampire.
love Warm Bodies.
Yeah, Warm
Warm
Bodies.
Bodies, like,
Warm
you know
Bodies
how,
is
like,
great.
the zombies, like, come, like,
Yeah.
even, like, they can be... Because
Yeah.
there's, like, the bonies.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just dropping some...
Children, if you haven't seen Warm Bodies, go and see it. It's very good. We
Yeah,
should probably
sorry
do
to
that one.
spoil...
It's unanimous, let's do it. Yeah, let's
Spoiling
put it
the
on the
Bonies.
future list.
I
Yeah,
love
I like it as
Warm
well. Yeah, no,
Bodies.
that one,
I
yeah.
love Nicholas Hoult.
And
He's very good.
And why not, let's throw it in there, what's his name? His name's Nick Holt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicholas Hoult.
So Renfield. Let's do
Renfield.
Renfield as well.
Yeah, let's do some silly
Because I have been
vampire.
recommended that
I
recently
really
by about
enjoyed it.
5
it's good.
people.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I
Nicolas
can't
Cage
do
is-
too camp.
Well-
I can't do too camp
Yeah.
personally, but they say, don't worry about it, you'll love it.
Yeah.
You'll still love
The
it.
thing that I heard, and this may possibly be apocryphal, is that Nicolas Cage has a standing order with his agent
Yes, I
that
heard this
any
too.
time Dracula is being made, he is to be put forward for
Yeah,
it.
I've heard this the other day on the podcast
And
from
he
someone else
finally
as well.
got it.
And he finally got it.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he did Vampire's Kiss, which was...
No, I love that.
I enjoyed it, but
Okay.
it's not among my favourites.
Alright.
I think because when I saw it, I think it was too ambiguous.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
It's just Nick Cage. Just
It's just Nick
Go
Cage
nuts.
being weird, yeah.
cockroach, eat it.
Eat
And
the
he does.
cockroach, yeah.
That's sort of Willem Dafoe's style, though, as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, who could go more crazy? Willem Dafoe
Willem
versus
Dafoe.
Nick
Willem
Cage.
Dafoe,
Willem
Nick
Dafoe,
Cage and Gary Busey.
Oh no, that's a
film.
competition. That's
No,
oh.
I haven't seen a
Three-way.
lot of Nick Cage stuff, to be honest. I haven't
Mandy,
taken the dip.
Long Legs. You haven't seen Long
No,
Legs.
I
yeah.
haven't.
Oh, Longlegs is great.
I need to.
Nick Cage in that.
The one film that I would suggest you should watch to get a real handle on Nick Cage is probably Con Air.
Okay.
All right, but I'll add to that.
Yeah.
Because that's one end of Nick Cage.
Oh yeah.
Go to the other end and watch something like I would say Leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving Las Vegas is good.
Because that's actually more of a character study.
Yeah.
Than Pig's a mood piece.
Yeah. Right.
Leaving Las Vegas is a character
Okay.
piece.
Yep.
Interesting.
So
I'd agree.
to show you that he can actually act
Yeah.
The spectrum of Nick Cage.
Yeah.
in an expected way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's good. I enjoy his work.
Yeah, I've come to love him. I
Yeah.
have come to love him.
More
But
of a-
that's in the
more of a
future.
treasure.
There, children.
More of a treasure.
He's not in Daybreakers,
He's not in
unfortunately.
Daybreakers, yeah.
That would really be the nail in the coffin to
Yeah,
this
yeah.
insane
Yeah, he wouldn't have
movie.
worked in this movie.
No.
Yeah.
Oh god, he plays the Sam Neill character.
Actually, you probably could have done that.
I reckon.
And Willy's Wonderland is... this has just become a Nick Cage perspective. Willy's Wonderland is amazing, and he doesn't speak a single word in that film.
Oh, there's a couple of
Yeah, but it's not
a couple
a
of
word.
Elvis
It's not a word,
onomatopoeias. Yeah.
Elvis is a good segue back to
Back
the
to-
movie
back
that we're
to-
talking about.
It's called Elvis.
Frankie arrives and sacrifices himself to the soldiers,
Yep.
allowing Edward and Audrey to escape. He has his redemption there, yeah?
That took them 30 seconds to get to that building. That's a 25-minute walk from where they were to where they go to.
I would have liked to see that in this cut. I would have liked to see them walking 25 minutes to get
From
there.
Central Station to the river, yeah.
Like it's the 1970s.
I want to see them on a ferry.
Yeah.
Montage.
Yeah.
Just gliding.
No, the city glider, the bus that just goes around the outside.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
does the loop.
The freeze. The 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lime scooters. Got a Swing 24 lime
Let's-
scooters.
Well, everyone's talking about like wanting a sequel. Ethan Hawke said he wanted a sequel. Let's.
Yeah.
Oh, does he really? Has
Oh, that'd
he
be
expressed
I
want for a
think so.
sequel? Okay.
I think so. I
Um,
like to think that he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
yeah, it would be
It
good.
really
And he
is.
is known for horror now, more than anything else. He has a
Yeah.
horror name. Like Black Phone's got a second one
Yeah.
coming
Oh.
out soon.
Ooh. So
Yeah,
good.
so yeah, it's a possibility. Alright, to conceal the cure, Christopher kills the soldiers and is about to shoot Edward and Audrey when Cormac kills him.
Yeah.
Yep. The three survivors drive off into the sunrise with the cure that will change... Oh, hang on. Sorry, we're just at the flipping end, aren't we?
Nearly.
Wikipedia doesn't know how to write a plot.
They
Please.
are now in the Maya Centre car park.
Really?
It's either Maya Centre or King George Square, but
Mhm.
those two have the same architecture.
Okay.
So that's another 25-minute walk back. It's definitely not underneath the building that they're in because it's way too close to the river.
I get it. There's a song I get around.
I get around, round, round, round. I get around.
Yeah. Alright, is there anything else we wanted to throw in before the end there? 'Cause
Well,
that's pretty much it, yeah.
I love the big like fight with all the military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. Like it's very like it might as well be like any sort of like World War II
Yeah.
like major. It's like slow-mo and there's like bodies
And
everywhere.
blood going off.
Yeah,
Blood
Dunkirk.
and they're like
Yeah.
It's Christopher
I
Nolan.
was like, this is giving like Dunkirk. I couldn't remember the name of the film because I'm not a big
Yeah,
war
yeah.
No,
movie
neither am I.
buff. But I was like, it was beautiful. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just the amount of bodies in
Absolutely.
the space and like also just the visuals of like soldiers eating each other.
Yeah.
I was just like, isn't that just like such a
That was
beautiful
really-
visual?
Yeah.
Like
Like
shark feeding frenzy.
putting your
yeah?
putting your body on the line
Yeah.
for like your cause, like
Yeah.
that, like I just found that fascinating.
That's interesting because I actually saw that as greed and avarice and capitalism consuming itself. I saw that as...
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah?
guess,
Yeah.
Because the vampires are turning the vampires and the whole vampire virus
Yeah.
thing has been seen as a capitalist virus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? But either way,
Yeah.
they're vampires curing themselves, turning back into vampires,
Yeah,
curing
well,
themselves,
it's like,
eating.
as soon as there's one human, all of the vampires are like, let's feed on this human because
Yeah.
there's a blood shortage, so they immediately go and they're all just like feeding on this one person, and then because they're drinking the cured blood, there's like waves of it because it's like they drink the cured blood,
Yeah.
then more of them turn into humans, then more of the vampires
Drink
feed
the
on the
human- the blood.
humans,
Yeah.
and it's just this like
yeah.
wave of violence and
Yeah, a feeding frenzy of sharks.
Yeah, it is like a shark,
Like
or
a
like
visual metaphor. And
piranhas.
you could say it's not a one-to-one correlation, but it is metaphorically speaking to greed and that sort
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
But you put it as well before regarding war, military.
Yeah, just the idea of like, just like the military sort of eating itself from the inside
Absolutely.
out.
I mean,
think-
violence begets violence.
Yeah, exactly.
War
And
just
it's-
creates destruction.
and
That's all it
you know,
ever
you really
creates,
are like
yeah?
laying your body on the line, and then I don't know. I feel like there's something in that.
Blind devotion.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I mean,
My-
that's sort of what Frankie goes through.
My question at this point is, if they'd been able to get away and then make little blow darts with just a little bit of the cure blood in it, would that have been enough to cure every vampire they hit with it, or do they need to drink more of it?
You see, that isn't clarified.
No.
in
No.
this movie.
Is it one
Which I kinda
drop
like,
cures
though.
them?
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
one drop that cures them? Is it a mouthful?
Yeah, don't know.
A spoon.
A spoonful.
Spoonful.
Yeah.
It's like at the start they have that like spoon of blood that he like mixes into
His
his
coffee. Yeah, yeah.
That's
He's like,
for crime.
I'm not drinking that.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't-
Kind of why we need a sequel.
Yeah,
Clarify
we really
these
find more
things,
about
even though
the
we
world.
I
will go
want to see
into
where
it
the world
more.
has
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
totally.
surely there's vampires on the edge in the
Yeah.
fringes.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are still like pro-vampire.
Holdouts.
Yeah.
Well, then the other thing too is, like, I know we wax lyrical about this being filmed in Brisbane, but it is not set in Brisbane. It is set in an unnamed American.
It's very
city.
American. It's like the students have like Berkeley High
Yeah, yeah.
on their like varsity jackets
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. And it's 2019.
And it's 2019.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
The last year.
Oh,
Four times.
remember in 2019 when there was
It
a
was so full of
vampire?
hope.
Yeah.
There was a vampire supremacy.
Yeah.
There was
Good
another
times.
bat
Yeah.
thing. Bat
Yeah.
situation.
Different
Yeah,
bat situation.
that
Stirring.
bat won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are on YouTube, so to conceal the...
Welcome to Conspiracy Hour with the Evil Popcorn Podcast.
Anti-military
Anti-military.
propaganda.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. And I noticed this, I went back because I forgot to mention this actually. There's this beautiful moment in the subway where the train goes past and everything goes dark and their
Yeah.
eyes just
Yeah,
flash.
the flash,
the
yeah,
glow.
that was really good. At the very
Loved
start,
that.
very noir.
It's so great.
Yeah.
That part was like, I was like, I'm in.
That was
I was like,
Rebecca's-
I'm strapped in. I'm
Yeah.
ready to go on this ride.
That was Rabina train station, just for the folks that don't know Brisbane. That's an hour and a half train ride away, not a 3-minute walk down a set of stairs.
That was good. I was wondering which train station that was. So that's
Yeah.
good.
No, I was
'Cause it
working
looks
at
very
Rabina.
New York.
I was working at Rabina at the time, and we had to get off. There was a maintenance stop that we sometimes had to get off if they'd been filming. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But where was I going with this? I was like, their eyes glowed. We were talking about.
The feeding frenzy, and then you just, I think you just remembered that bit and you wanted to
Sorry, I just
mention.
derailed your train.
No, was there a
No, there was somewhere I was going with it.
feeding frenzy, military, greed,
It'll come to me.
cure? Okay.
Once we stop recording.
Yeah, it'll come to me.
Alright, so just to backtrack a little, in the ensuing feeding frenzy, only a few surviving soldiers are cured.
Speaking of feeding frenzies, Blue Apron.
I remember.
No.
Was our today's sponsor. There is an Uncle Sam poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
There's literally
Literally,
an
yeah.
Uncle Sam poster.
Yeah.
Like, we need to kill humans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
If you
yeah,
see
yeah,
something,
we
say
want
something.
And I was like,
Yeah.
this is very didactic. Like, it's very,
Yeah.
like... but I loved
It's no keep, come and carry on.
No. I wish they had, like, a vampire alternative to that.
Keep, come and carrion? As in carrion, like meat, like rotten
Oh,
meat.
okay, sorry. I was like, I don't know what that
Every
is.
good joke needs to be explained.
I agree.
It's so good.
To conceal the cure, Christopher kills the soldiers and is about to
Yeah.
shoot Edward
Yeah.
and Audrey when Cormac kills him.
Yep.
Because he has profit in his, like, fake blood alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
yeah.
like, no, we can't find
Yeah.
out about the actual cure.
I am immortal, and now I'm going to be rich.
He does paraphrase the classic line, we don't want to cure people, we just want repeat business.
Yeah.
I forget the exact
Yeah.
wording, but it's the pharmaceutical companies
Yeah.
and Big Pharma in
It's-
action.
it's-
I
big
put a
blood.
note here.
Yeah,
I put
big
a note
blood.
here. Oh, he's a
Lovely.
farmer bro.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. And
yeah.
he's
Big
like,
blood, I
they
like
can't
that.
find out, it's big blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The three survivors drive off into the sunrise
The sun rises.
with the cure that will change the general population back to restore humanity. Do we want that? But yeah, that's the end of the film.
I think that
I
should give
loved
people
it.
a choice.
Yeah.
Like, there would be people that would be happy to feed vampires. There would be people who would be happy to stay vampires.
Yeah, that's true. There
I
is
don't know, I
always
feel
that.
like it's dubious.
There's the cure situation for terminal disease. I mean, how do you not corrupt that? It's corruption. How
Is
do you
it-
avoid corruption in all of this?
But
is
is
the
it the
question.
thing
Yeah.
of, like, once you become a vampire, you lose your souls? You're, like, inherently, like, lent towards evil.
Well,
Capitalism again.
Yeah.
He didn't. Like our good friend Ethan
That's
didn't.
true,
He
he
went back to
can't-
himself.
That's true.
He wasn't an evil fucker at the
And
end.
it's like,
Yeah.
it's true. He's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Just like most
He
vampires
only eats
called Edward.
vegetarians.
He only...
So he's the Luke Skywalker in this, isn't he? He's the one leading
Yeah.
the way because yes, Elvis already did it. Was already gone through the process, but he's a Han Solo type.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
he was nearly the mentor in the hero's journey character. 'Cause
Yeah.
I thought he was dead.
Almost,
I
yeah.
thought he was dead.
Yeah. True that.
And, I love that he had to wear the scars of his, like, being set on fire,
Yeah.
and Ethan Hawke got to stay beautiful.
Yeah, he got to stay beautiful.
He got to
really
stay-
pretty.
So he's kind of a trickster, yeah?
Yeah.
We consider the change trickster, shapeshifter,
Yeah.
shapeshifter, yeah?
Yeah.
If we're going to go with that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's the end. Yeah,
End of
yeah.
the film.
Yes, so
Off into the sunrise.
I will give it.
Ooh, okay.
I'll just start off. With
Yeah,
that.
go,
Yeah.
go, go, life.
I'll give it a 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.5. There's a lot of good classic tropes and elements that have been put together to make a very satisfying film, hence 3.5, very
Yeah.
satisfying,
That's
but nothing overtly unique
Yeah.
or experimental enough to make me go, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, for it to get to the 4 level, because that's
Yeah.
for me where
Yeah.
I've got to be given things 4 based on that kind of reaction
Sure.
based on what's in the film.
Sure,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Screen quick.
Okay. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like Stockholm syndroming myself into like it's evil popcorn.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine.
I think if the romance in this movie was strong,
Yeah.
I think it would like tick every box for
Okay.
me. Like
Okay.
you know the Matrix, like Neo and Trinity, like
Yeah.
that romance is
Yeah.
like it's strong.
the cement of the
Yeah,
film,
it's
yes,
like this is a love story.
Yeah.
Like it's perfect.
yeah,
um,
effectively the whole trilogy, yes.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like it's a love story.
Yeah, it
it's
is.
not an
Like,
it's
yeah, it
an
really
action
is.
sci-fi, but like it's a love
Actually,
story.
primarily.
Deadpool and Vanessa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
If
yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't like if they had spent more time with it and that was like as heightened as like the other elements. Not that I think there's a lot going for this movie,
Yeah.
just personally. If that was heightened, that would be a 5.
I'm not mad at that, actually.
I
Yeah.
think it would be an evil popcorn for me. But because it was weak
Yeah.
and underdeveloped, just that part, I think I'm going to give it a... What's between satisfying and evil? Delicious.
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 So you're giving it a 4.
This movie is
Straight
delicious.
4, you're throwing a 0.5 in there?
Maybe like a...
Is it very delicious?
I think it's very
Sure,
delicious.
sure.
After this
Go for it,
conversation, I'm
yeah.
like, oh, it
We're
is
here
very
to promote
delicious.
Australian
Yeah,
films,
yeah.
certainly
Yeah.
Brisbane numbers. So
I
yeah.
love vampire movies. I just
Yeah,
thought like it was camp and it was,
Yeah.
but they all took it so seriously.
Yeah, they did,
That's
yeah.
what sold it. It's
Well-
like this is silly, but like they're playing it
Yeah,
so straight.
the world had gravitas.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we had a literally monologuing villain. We had vampires that were
Yeah.
cured. We had like it shouldn't have worked as well
Yeah.
as it did, but it
Yeah,
does.
that's true.
This
That's
movie
true,
was like-
actually.
If Repo the Genetic Opera was good,
Comes in a little glass vial.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If that movie was made in a way that like actually
Sincere.
did the story and the themes justice,
Yeah.
it would be this movie.
Sure.
That's how I feel
That
about
makes
it.
actually there are some parallels
Yeah.
there. To
That's
this.
kind of genius there, Screen
Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah.
What can I say? What can I
That's
say?
kind of brilliant, actually.
So yeah, 4.5.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll
Yeah.
stop yapping on.
I'm going to go the same as Mr. Popcorn. A solid 3.5.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It heads towards a 4, but I think 3.5 is where it will sit for me. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I've now seen it 3 times. So I saw it at the cinema. I watched it once when I bought the DVD, and then I watched it once again for this. And I think I got more out of it this last watch than I did. I remember coming out of the cinema going, well, that felt like a mishmash. And then watching it again on DVD, having the ability to watch it on DVD and pause it and think about stuff, and then to watch it again now, it's become better over the watches.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I do agree with you there, Screen Queen. That was a good point about the emotional dynamics between the characters could have been a bit stronger because they would have raised the stakes a little and I would have cared about them a bit more, so
Yeah.
the action would have been
Because they sort
less
of lost me a little bit towards the
expected,
end.
yes, because I knew how it was all going to turn out, and it did turn out
Yeah.
that way, sort of thing. So, very well done, very accomplished, but I wasn't like...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But if they would have had those connections between the characters there, they could have, yes. And they were both capable of doing that. What's her name? What's Audrey's name?
Claudia Carlin.
Carlin.
We know that she can do it, and we certainly
She
know that
absolutely
Ethan
can.
Hawke can do it,
Yeah.
yes. Because he was in those... I forget their names. It was Julia Delpy. There was 3 of them. There was a trilogy. They're
Before-
romantic
the Before
comedies.
trilogy?
You would know them, yes.
I haven't actually seen them.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Okay.
Very uncharacteristic. I actually have never seen a movie before. I think that's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
Yes, before even popcorn.
These are my first movies I've ever seen. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I made her watch 10,000 before I started. Okay, so fantastic. Daybreakers.
Yeah,
Done
yeah,
and
I
dusted.
really enjoyed it.
Definitely.
Now, you did ask us a question earlier about is our favourite vampire
Oh,
film.
I didn't.
Yeah. Have you thought of
Well,
one?
I have one that comes to mind very readily. Sorry, I have two that. Sorry, I have
Googling vampire movies.
I have three that
Go.
rotate through the number one spot.
Okay, yeah, I
It
get
Oh, wait,
depends
I
how
have
I'm
my
feeling
answer.
on the day. So the three are John Carpenter's Vampires, with the whole Catholic Church plot thing in it, where there's Catholic Church sanctioned vampire killing squads. The novel is written by a guy called John Stakely, which is very good for
That
a
is
vampire
very
film.
good.
It's called Vampires, and the S is a $sign. The book is better than the film, but the film I really like. The other one that rotates through is Near Dark, which is redneck vampires, basically,
good choice.
most
yes.
of the cast of Aliens.
Catherine Bigelow, female director for that one.
Yes,
yeah?
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Just for recommend for
She's
yourself
great.
there.
And the other one is a comedy vampire film called Sundown, the Vampire in Retreat.
Never heard of that.
It's got Bruce Campbell in it as the most recent Van Helsing, and he stumbles upon a town full of vampires that are trying to stay away from humanity and have developed a blood machine, like a substitute blood machine.
Okay.
It's very good. It's also got David Carradine in it, so it's got some serious horror chops. But it is more of a comedy than a horror. But I really enjoy it, and when I'm feeling like a light vampire film, that's the one that I'll watch.
Nice.
If I want something grimy, I'll watch Near Dark, and if I want something that's a bit more mainstream, I'll watch John Carpenter's Vampires. They did 2 sequels to that, which weren't great, but the first one I really enjoyed.
Did John Carpenter's Vampires?
Yes,
there's
he didn't.
sequels
He
to
didn't.
that?
He didn't do it.
Ugh, I've never even heard them mentioned when people talking about the vampire film by Carpenter.
Yeah,
Oof.
it's look okay. They're okay, but I have a
You're very forgiving.
I have a remarkably low tolerance, remarkably high tolerance for crap. So yeah.
What have you got there, Scream Queen?
I feel like I have to say now. I feel like I've led up to this point. I have to say Van Helsing.
Yeah, of course.
It's perfect.
And it's got a werewolf in it.
Richard Roxburgh as Dracula is perfect.
He is very good.
I just love watching a movie where you can tell that they're having the time of their life.
and chewing on every piece of scenery.
He loves it, and he's serving. Like it's perfect.
Hugh
The
Jackman.
brides, Hugh Jackman, the werewolves. It's perfect. Van Helsing is so good.
Europe.
It's so good. I'm also gonna say just the whole Buffy the Vampire Slayer show.
Second that. Yep.
That I feel like has just like raised me, so I have to say it. And Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
Good choice. Good choice.
Great movie.
So for those people that were listening earlier, Van Helsing: The London Assignment is a 2004 animated video. And it's the same character.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Okay, great.
Alright, I'm going to go Let the Right One In. Swedish version. The American one's very good as well. That was actually a remake I was happy with. Yes, and on top of, I just had them in my goddamn head. I will use Buffy the Vampire Slayer as well because I've watched that show twice. It was certainly my favourite show during the 90s.
Yeah.
By the 2000s by a long shot. So yeah, I have to pay respect to that.
Spike.
Yeah, totally.
Although I have...
Jerusalem. Scream Queen. Jerusalem.
Have I mentioned that I've been hugged by Spike?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember being jealous. I remember the...
what's his name? Masters?
James Masters.
James
Yeah.
Masters, thank you.
I have just found, I think, my new favourite, though, on IMDb. The Sexy Adventures of Van Helsing.
Oh.
An all-female version of the Van Helsing tale.
Once we leave tonight, you and Pirate Queen can settle in on the couch.
Reconfigures the vampire story as an erotic fantasy. The great-great-granddaughter of Van Helsing seeks to slay the sexy Countess Dracula. She may have to pretend to be her devoted love slave to get closer to the bloodthirsty demon.
I love it. It's like she may have to. Oh, what a drag. She has to pretend to be her lover. Oh.
Sounds like a novel my stepmother used to read.
There's also this movie, The Little Vampire. I don't know if anyone's seen that. I watched it a lot when I was a kid. It's like this little kid and like these little children vampires that are part of like a bigger vampire family. It's got what's his name? Richard E. Grant in it. As the dad. And it's like this young child vampire befriends this young child human, and it's adorable. I love that movie. So.
What's the one, Baron? I'm just asking Baron because we're going back there, Scream Queen, where there was the little boy vampire used to fly up to the window and tap, 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 yes?
Oh, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
One was in...
He's dressed like Count Dracula.
Wasn't that a BBC show?
Yeah,
I think it's like Young Dracula.
Yeah, I watched
yeah,
that.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just coming
Before
back to me. I just
school?
wanted the name.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention
it.
the Monster Squad.
Sure.
It's got a really good Dracula in it because it's also got the Wolfman and Frankenstein and the Gill-Man and the Mummy.
Well, throwing them out there. There's the Hunger with David Bowie back in the day.
Oh, I need
There's
to
the
see
goddamn
that.
Lost Boys.
Yeah,
That
Lost
was,
Boys is a
let's
classic. Don't watch the
forget.
sequels.
Haven't seen it.
Dust Till Dawn.
Yeah. I need
But
to
that's only
rewatch.
half a vampire
I need
film.
to rewatch that again because the ending just threw me. It was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it because I never rewatched
They
it.
did 2 okay sequels to that.
Yeah. And
I
a
am
TV show.
partial to Twilight. I feel like
Yeah.
we have
Sure,
to say it.
Sure.
It's Catherine Hardwicke. Just the pure aesthetics of the first movie is just like so. Like it's such like. It has solidified itself in like history because of just like how like memorable it is. I don't know. I just think it's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum.
Yeah, no, neither am I.
I definitely don't think it's high art. It's not my favorite vampire movie, but it's an honorable mention because I feel like, I mean, we've mentioned it several times, but
Absolutely. And you did mention Interview with the Vampire before, but I'm not going to say the movie because I'm actually going to throw in the TV show and use that as my recommendation this evening, children of
I'm
the
enjoying
popcorn. The new Interview with the Vampire television show. At first I was a bit, ooh, how are they working this? How are they setting these characters up? Once that's done though, once you get into about episode 3 or 4, and then when the story really starts chugging along, and then the character relationships and dynamics are really starting to zing, Lestat's becoming Lestat, the nasty side of Lestat.
I've heard it really leans into the sort of
So
toxic.
Louis and Claudia are teaming up against Lestat, so there's tensions
Like in the book.
building.
Yeah.
Just like in the goddamn
Like in the
book,
book, yeah.
in a more kind of cohesive,
Okay.
clear fashion, let's just say.
But we love Tom Cruise.
Now,
He's already dead in that. I can't watch him die again.
Yeah,
So,
damn.
but if you've been
Immortal.
Yeah.
unsure, I recommend diving in. If you are a fan of
Yeah.
the old movie,
Yeah.
sure, but if you like the books, yes.
I mean, there's a veiled reference in one of the episodes to the things that happened in the movie still happened in that universe.
Yeah.
So he refers to the other journalist.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's making reference to the all the other vampires at the moment, starting to build up to going over to Paris to meet Armand. Yeah,
Yes.
that's pretty much what I'm up to. Yeah.
I shouldn't say anything because I'm up to that point. So
I think the lesson here is we love vampire
yeah,
movies.
vampires are amazing.
I believe they were our top.
Yeah.
All of us had them as our top
Yeah.
monster and our top
They're
5
great.
monsters. Yes.
I mean,
So,
it's the Pirate Queen's favourite monster as well. Like, there's the reason why we've got a section in our media library on
good.
just vampire films.
Fascinating. I had vampirology as a child. I saved
Oh,
up
the
for
book, it's like the
at Book Week.
Dragonology and
Yeah.
Well, and to bring vampires back to 2024, if you haven't seen Abigail, it's not a game changer, but it's a hell of a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed
I
it.
haven't seen it.
Yeah, hell of a lot of fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Actually, if you like vampires, you should see it.
Are there any others that have come out this year?
Uh,
Vampire movie?
Of
Renfield.
Was that this
No,
year
that
or
was
last
last
year?
year.
That was last year.
Yeah.
But check it, yeah.
Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yes, that came out this year. I haven't
David
seen
Dismalch
that. I
is in
have
that
not
from
seen
Last
that.
Night, Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, I didn't clock that.
Yeah.
I may have to watch that because I really liked him in Late Night with the Devil.
I mean, it
That's on
is.
Shudder now.
Yeah, it is basically just like 2 chapters
Yes,
out
the
of
book.
the
It's the
Dracula
yeah,
book.
It's
It's
the
just
sea
the
journey,
journey.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, with some. Or maybe this happened, and maybe
I
this
need-
happened.
Oh, Midnight Mass? Sorry, I'm just
yeah.
going to throw that out there.
That's in my top 3. Throw
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
out. I don't care because that has to be.
Yeah,
in there.
that is like one
goddamn
of the
has
best
to be in
vampire
there.
things I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
I'm chucking out a whole list.
That's number 1 for me.
Yeah.
That is actually number 1.
See a Van Helsing? No, I
Yeah.
could never.
I did watch a fun.
Fish
I like a fun vampire film as well, and there's one that I watched ages ago. I think it's called The Creeps, and the premise of the movie is this guy just gets like samples from the old monsters, and he decides he's going to bring them back to life, and he
That's
starts the
kinda cool.
process.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
And then there's a power cut or something happens, so the monsters are fully formed, but they're played by little people.
Oh.
So Dracula is
Oh, I've seen
this tall, and the mummy is this tall, and the Frankenstein is this tall. It is so good. I
When
think it's
did that
Michael
come out?
Rappaport. Late 90s? 1997.
Perfect.
Fantastic Tense
What we
and
do in the
Scary.
shadows? Sorry, now I'm just
Oh.
remembering.
Yeah,
all
what we
the-
do in the shadows and the American TV show,
It's
the
good.
remake. Oh,
It
it's
is
so
good.
good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
We could
What's
just
his
we could
name?
sit
What's
here
his
for
name? Father. From
Michael Berryman. No, not Michael Berryman.
Michael...
Matt Berry.
Matt Berry.
Yeah.
Different horror actor. Berry.
He's that guy.
Matt Berry. Yes, I can hear you, Clem Fandango.
we need a whole episode just dedicated to us talking about vampire media. I think.
I agree.
Absolutely. Because we're not even at books, comics, games, D&D games, video games.
So I'm just showing them a picture of the Dracula and the Wolfman.
That's hilarious.
Good. Very good. Any shout-outs?
You got any recommendations?
Recommendations.
I just did an interview.
I watched Skinamarink.
Okay.
What do you reckon, Screen Queen? What do you reckon?
I think it's polarizing for a reason. It's very... I wouldn't say experimental.
Have you seen?
Is the right word.
No, I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
It's very like pure vibe.
Okay.
It's meant to be an immersive horror film that you really like. You sit in the dark and you watch it with headphones and you really like feel what the characters are feeling. It's a lot of. If you get bored easily, I would not recommend it. But I think as like a feat of cinema is really interesting.
So don't go see it if you've got ADHD.
Yeah, but it's artistic, and I think the discussion around it is maybe more interesting than the film itself. But like it is good. I don't want to say it's bad, but you have to be in the right mood for it.
Interesting. Because just quickly, their children kind of basically what it is. It's like someone wakes up at the middle of the night and walks around the house, a child, and tries to find what they heard in the dark.
Yeah.
It's
I've seen the trailer.
The premise is they wake up and the front door and all the windows are gone.
Oh, yeah.
And their parents are sort of like...
That is a piquing of interest as
it
a
is
starting
interest,
point, isn't it? Yeah.
But it relies a lot on like the setting and like not showing us much, but letting that be the scary part and letting that create the action is that there's action in inaction, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it is fascinating.
It's something I will watch at some point, because I want to see the experiment.
Exactly.
I want to witness the experiment.
I saw a review. I'm hopping on, but I saw a review that was like, horror is constantly evolving and adapting, and it's like one of the only genres that like really, really leans into that. And this is a great example of that, which I really appreciate.
Okay. Horror is currently reinventing cinema at the current time.
It's constantly.
It's the only thing that is at the moment in cinema, I would argue.
And so it's like you can't knock something for doing that.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Just quickly about Scream Queen, did you watch Hosts?
No.
The Zoom horror movie that was in 2020, because due to a matter of circumstance and necessity, they put together an hour-long Zoom horror movie, and it works wonderfully. It's a lot of like basically what's in the background. Stuff gets thrown around in the background. They go out to sea. There's a scream. You don't see them again. Kind of like Unfriended, but it's actually way more clever and concise. I would argue.
And a recent episode of Doctor Who did a similar thing.
Okay. And but why I mention that is because circumstance, comes into this reinvention of things, of course. And since the pandemic, like things like with Host and Skinnering, because I imagine Skinnering costs them lunch in terms of budget.
Absolutely.
And it is helping to even change the bigger budgets.
You
know what I mean? They're taking artistic influence from.
Exactly.
There's no budget's a matter of necessity.
It was interesting. I actually saw a cut scene that I found probably more compelling than any scene that I saw in the movie, so I found that interesting.
Okay.
So check it out. It's interesting.
Okay. I saw the first episode of the new Time Bandits TV series.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Could you sum up what Time Bandits is, the old back in the day?
So the movie Time Bandits, which was the Monty Python adjacent.
I have seen it.
Where there's a bunch of people that have stolen the map to the creation of the universe, and they're going around stealing stuff, and the ultimate evil is trying to get hold of the map so that he can recreate the universe in a dark manner, and the supreme being is trying to get the map back so that the dark person can't take over the universe, and the main character is a child who goes along with their shenanigans. The shenanigans of the thieves.
So how did they do? A British TV show?
Oh no, it's American.
Yeah.
It's got what's her name from Friends, Phoebe as
Phoebe is
Lisa
Oh,
Kudrow.
it's a Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Taika Waititi
Yeah.
and Jermaine Clement.
Oh, okay.
Who I love.
Yeah, they're.
I think.
So they're playing.
Lisa
So
Kudrow.
Taika is playing the divine being, and Jermaine Clement is playing the ultimate darkness, and Lisa Kudrow is playing the leader of the.
I do
thieves.
like Jermaine a lot.
Yeah.
I may have to see this.
He's
I
very good
really
in
do
Men in
like
Black.
Jermaine. Yeah, he's hilarious.
Oh, perfect.
As the animal.
He's really good
Something
at
else.
Moana.
Is it Jermaine?
Yeah.
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 Have you ever seen Have Dinner with Idiots? I think it may have been called.
Huh.
Steve Carell movie.
Christmas with the Cranks. No.
No, it was called Have Dinner with Idiots or Dinner with 42 Idiots or
No, I
something.
haven't seen it.
I forget it, but he plays a male model type. Jermaine,
Okay.
And
Yeah,
but
sure.
it's still deadpan, no expression,
Yeah.
doofus Kiwi style.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
Okay.
it's incredible. I will come up with it next time. I'll bring it to the table next time.
Okay.
So that's cool. Shout outs.
Shout outs.
Shout outs.
Or plugs. please.
Shout
The-
outs / plugs.
The woman in the bathroom when there was no toilet paper, and I said, "Hey, does anyone have any toilet paper?" And she handed me toilet paper through the store.
Nice.
That's who I would
Okay,
like
good.
to shout
Do you know
out.
her
That
name?
actually happens.
And yes,
That's great to hear.
That happened today.
But do
The
you know her
panic-
name?
No, I don't. I
Oh,
didn't.
okay.
I said, "Hi, what's your name?"
Well, if you're listening, thank you.
Thank you so- you are
I'm
my
sorry that
darling.
happened to you. That's,
Yeah.
that's
It was
terrible.
stressful. I was just like, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and I'm just gonna ask. And I said, I'm so
just
Is
like
there
sorry.
someone else in your bathroom at your house?
I just jump out the window.
This was in the set of Daybreakers in Anzac Square. No, so thank you to that person.
Okay. I'll go next. Shout outs and plugs. So I'll always plug Improv Queensland, Act React. I've got some stuff happening with those. I would like to plug Hush Hush Biz because I am reviewing movies with them now. There's a review up at the moment for In a Violent Nature, which no doubt we will cover once it gets released in Australia. I got to see a screener of that. And I have a new plug person, IFWG Publishing. I'm doing a short story into an anthology that is being cover revealed at San Diego Comic-Con as we speak.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
With some
That's very
Joe
cool.
R. Lansdale's going to be in it with me, Ramsey Campbell, and they're looking at getting the rights to reprint Shoggoth's Old Peculiar by Neil Gaiman, who I understand at the moment is
Yeah,
a little bit problematic.
What?
But, yeah.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
That's my favourite author.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've literally got a book with his autograph in my house.
Coraline is like.
Okay, yeah, no, please, sorry, otherwise I'm going to stop the whole pod. Carry on.
No, that's it. That's
just
it.
dropping that.
Sorry.
That's okay, that's okay.
I mean, nothing proved yet, but certainly earmarks. But yeah.
Okay.
And what
Well,
about you?
congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely,
I
congratulations,
believe the
yeah.
book is going to be called Into the Cthulhu Verse.
Okay, that's very cool.
Love that.
Evil Corp is away.
Yep.
Yes, shout out, all the crew there, Kate, etc. Come down and see us. Yeah, you know you're not going to hear this in time, so
No.
just go to Evil Corp, Escape Manor, absolutely. And also shout out Nathan, I can't remember your last name, bro, sorry, but you are the drama merchant, yes. Shout out to the drama merchant. I was a ring-in for the Anywhere Fest last night at Evil Corp, doing a Scooby-Doo horror improv play, where I got to play basically a spook.
Love
and
that.
Pull off a
goofy cop.
mask and go, if it wasn't for you damn kids.
After a fashion,
Sure,
yes,
yeah,
of
okay.
course, yeah. So shout out to him. We're going to be working on some stuff in the future at Evil Corp, dark theatre, spooky goodness. Yes.
I was always a Velma guy.
Yeah,
Of
of
course.
course.
I'm
Of
Daphne all
course.
the way. Daphne and
Yeah.
Fred.
I'm also.
I love the jocks.
Shaggy and Scooby, of course, yes.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, 'cause
Well,
they're-
go more
because
colour.
they're-
Yeah.
Everything coloured.
Shaggy and Spooky are my people.
We're the whole gang.
Shout out Evil Corp, shout out the Drama Merchant. Check out both of us working together in a beautiful, beautiful concert in the future. Yes. So is
Shout out
that
to
all?
Poppy.
Yeah, Poppy.
Poppy, thank you. Next up, we are going to be doing Wolf Creek
Wolf
via
Creek.
Screenplay.
Great.
Yes,
the first
I-
movie, not the second movie or the TV series.
Yes,
Okay.
I feel like we have to cover it.
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't.
It's true. It is Aussie horror, like
Yeah, it's
at
got to be
its
done.
core.
It's got to be done.
So very excited for that. Stay tuned.
Well, I think my next one. Well, let's get a couple sort of
throw them
sizzled.
out.
My next one is going to be Razorback, the monster film from the late 70s, early 80s.
Very excited.
Very
for
cool,
that.
and I've got Psycho 2, Norman's Return. It's not called that. I don't know if it actually has a title beyond Psycho 2.
I think it's just Psycho 2.
Yeah. But
Extra Psycho.
Psycho 2, which is Richard Franklin. He's an Aussie.
Yep.
So yeah, there you go.
So it fits the
It does.
criteria.
Yeah. And of course, there's going to be other horror movies that come out that we'll do.
Yeah, of course.
We've got Long Legs. And
Yeah. But by now we've already covered that.
of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course we will. Yes,
Because
we
I'm
have.
throwing out that this week.
Disregard me. I'm
where
for
we are
another
now.
time.
That's okay. Podcast time gets
We're in the
wacky.
future. We're in 2019 and the vampires' supremacy.
And yes, and so for this point of time, by the time you've heard this, what we're doing next is the Human Centipede for the Horror Ice
the Horror Ice
You want to come along?
I was.
Scream Queen? You're in?
I've never seen it, so maybe it would be interesting.
If you do happen to watch it and you want to come on and
If
talk
I-
about it,
if
even
I
just
just happen
to
to
rant
stumble upon
about,
watching
even
the
to
entire
declaim it and decry against it, you're absolutely welcome to.
Maybe I will.
I have one.
But if you end up loving it, come around to talk about how much you loved it.
I doubt it.
I have one other thing.
Yes.
Thankfully, not thankfully. So, the Ghosts of Boyfriends Past podcast, they've had a little bit of trouble. Zane, their producer, has been a bit ill, so I came on as an ad hoc producer for them, which got me to test this little setup that we're doing here. We're going to be doing a collab, a relationship-based collab with them in the
Sure.
basic future. What I'm going to do is basically I'm going to watch a horror movie with the hosts, and then we're going to dissect the relationships in the film.
Oh, I
That's
love
cool.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
So,
Jump
yeah.
on there, Scream Queen. We'll enjoy that.
So Ghost of Boyfriends Past. So we did like 6 episodes over the space of a couple of days. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, cool.
Some of them are real quick. Some of them are like 15 minutes. But yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's me. That's everything done.
Thanks for.
Yeah.
No. I was just gonna say, thanks for listening.
All right, we'll do flinging it back, starting with me. This has been Mr. Popcorn, keeping it bloody. Peace. Baron.
This is the Baron saying, "Go to bed, children. Go to bed."
And this is Scream Queen. Keep it poppin'. I'm stealing your catchphrase. I'm coming for everyone's identity.
It's all good. It's enough to go around. And
That's
we
like
are